Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about John Carpenter's movie The Thing and the mystery of who might be the thing in the final scene. I would just like to say that this is one of my top 3 favorite horror movies of all time. And I still wish they did special effects like they did in this movie, and others like it in the past, instead of just using a ton of CGI. CGI just isn't really scary to me. This is, though. So anyway, let's get started. The Thing is a 1982 American science fiction horror film directed by John Carpenter and written by Bill Lancaster. It's based on the 1938 John Campbell Jr. novella Who Goes There? It tells the story of a group of American researchers in Antarctica who encounter the Thing, a parasitic extraterrestrial life form that assimilates, then imitates other organisms. The group is overcome by paranoia and conflict as they learn that they can no longer trust each other, and that any one of them could be the Thing. The goal of this alien is to take over the planet by assimilating everyone that inhabits it. Men, women, children, and animals. Nothing is safe from the Thing. The group of men in the Arctic all slowly die one by one trying to stop it. And at the end, we are left with just 2 survivors, McCready and Childs. They sit in the snow as the base burns around them, uneasy of each other, not knowing if one another is human or the Thing. So the question is, was Childs and McGrady both human, or was one of them infected, or both? John Carpenter himself has said that one of the men was infected at the end of the movie. So let's examine some possible clues to try and figure out who it might be. Now, the most likely candidate appears to be Childs, because in the final scene, Childs doesn't appear to be breathing, at least not the same way McCready is. When he breathes, you can see his warm breath pouring out of him, as it should be if you're, human and in the Arctic. Childs is a different case, however. You don't see anything coming out from him. Aside from this, Childs is missing through most of the last act of the movie, and returns with a different coat than he had been wearing throughout the entire film. The Thing is known to rip up a person's clothes when it assimilates them. This new coat of Childs could be hiding this fact. Also, another thing fans have suggested is that McCready gives Child a bottle of alcohol, but it's not actually filled with liquor, it's filled with gas. That's why he chuckles after Childs drinks it, because at that point, he knows he's the last human left. There's a little bit of evidence to suggest McCready is the Thing and Childs is human. There's a chance the change is slow acting. McCready is aware that he's infected and has set ablaze a light to cover his tracks as the last Thing, standing to gain the uneasy trust of Childs. It would make sense since he's holding a giant flamethrower. After all, if this is the case, it would be that his initial contraction came from sharing a bottle with Blair, meaning his chuckle at Childs' consumption of the whiskey has much more sinister undertone. He would have infected Childs also. However, another more official way to figure out who is the Thing has come from way of Dean Cundey, the cinematographer who shot John Carpenter's The Thing. During the interview, Cundey was asked if he used any subtle photography cues to explain anything about the Thing. At first, Cundey did not answer, but then during the blood scene, he said something quite interesting. And I quote, "So, we were looking for some kind of subtle way to say which one of these men might be human. You'll notice there's always an eye light. We call it a little gleam in the eye of the actor. It gives life." End quote. Knowing that changes the way you watch the movie. And as the man says, it reveals a lot about the people infected. Here are the characters who were human. Notice the light in their eyes. And these are the characters who were infected. Notice the darkly shaded eyes with no light. So when we put this to the test on the final scene, MacReady clearly has the light, but Child's eyes do not. And for me, this solves the mystery once and for all.